Hello and welcome back to Mrs. Fred Arted, where I am Mrs. Fred, and today we are going to be talking about space. Here we go. So today we are talking about space in art. But before we get started, let's get going with our art motto. And it goes a little something like this. Here we go. I will try my best, I will be creative, and I will problem solve. We do this with every single art lesson. So before we get started, let's find out, when we're talking about art, what do you know about space? Who would like to tell me what they know about space?
I know.
Yeah, you, go ahead.
When you are in space, you need a helmet. Yeah, a helmet.
Oh, I see. No, we're not talking about outer space. We're talking about space in art, like when we draw on our art projects. Who else would like to talk to us about art in space? Anyone? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
And also when you're in space, you need a way to communicate with other people, because you're way far away, so like you might need a walkie-talkie. And yep, that's what you need in space.
Yeah, okay. So let's try this one more time. We're not talking about outer space. We're talking about like the space on your page, like when you're making art, like with, paints and markers and crayons. Anyone else want to give it a try? No? You? No? Okay. Yep. Give it one more shot.
Okay, so you have your helmet and you're communicating, and also you need a lightsaber, so you can defeat people on the dark side. Because we don't want anyone from the dark side at our school. I think I got it.
Right. How about I help us out? Because space is a really, really tricky one. So let's talk about what space means, and specifically we're going to talk about negative and positive space. So negative space is a little tricky, so let me start with positive space. Positive space, like in this picture, is the actual object that we're looking at. Okay, so on my page, I have a heart. Everything around that is not the object is negative space. So negative space in this picture is all around the outside of the heart. But take a look at my snowflake. Yeah, this is where it gets very exciting when we do projects with positive and negative space. In this picture, all of the positive space is the actual snowflake. But the negative space is what really makes this project look super interesting. Look at all of the shapes that are happening with the negative space. So wherever the snowflake isn't, that's negative space. Now today, we are going to be playing around with some negative space and positive space, and we are going to create our own pieces of negative, positive art space artwork. And in this particular project, it is a tree. It is a line design and pattern tree, and I have the positive space over here is what I used with the white paper. And all I did was cut down the line and paste it right here. I'm going to show you how. Now that's not your only choice. You can do something like this right here, where you do kind of like a reverse shadow. I could have chosen to do it this way, and that's okay too. Now, I chose to do this way. I thought it looked very interesting, but all I did was cut out a shape from half of my page, and then I glued it on upside down. I cannot wait to show you how to do this. This is going to be a very fun project. So let's get going. Today in art, I can create a negative space winter scene. To get started, we need scissors, something to draw with, a half sheet of paper, glue, and a colored piece of paper. I'm going to start by drawing a simple little snowman and maybe a tree and something else to go along with it. Keep your shapes very, very simple. Now, what you're going to do next is you're going to cut out each shape, but do not throw those shapes away. Save them, save them, save them. So I will repeat that. Cut those shapes out and save them, put them aside. Now I had to get a little tricky with this moon, so just poke a hole if you have a moon in your page and snip it out. The first thing I'm going to do is glue that half sheet of paper with the cutout shapes onto my page. Make sure that it's nice and tight, and then put your shape in the right way and then flip it over. That's going to create your negative space and your positive space on the bottom. Flip it over, glue it down, and make sure you have it just right, and then it will be symmetrical or the same on both sides. Then after you have glued everything down, that is when the fun begins. You can add some extra little details like snowflakes or, I don't know, use your imagination. Make your artwork completely different than mine. Mine is just an idea. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to use the same supplies, but this time we're going to fold a page vertically. Snip it in half, and you can set the other side away for another project. So, I am going to draw a very simple half of a tree. One of those evergreen trees that never loses its needles. Then I'm going to snip it out, and I'm going to glue this one main side down first and then the second side. So glue that big chunk down first and make sure it is the way that you started, lining up edge to edge. Then simply flip over your shape so it is symmetrical or the same on both sides, just a different color. And then you can begin to decorate your page. Let your imagination go crazy. Now I am using lots of lines and patterns which repeat over and over and over again. A pattern again is a line, shape, color, or design that repeats. I hope you had fun playing around with negative space. Today was a great day to do art. Now you keep on arting.